What up, nerds? It's Pweets. Welcome to another episode of 24 Games to Christmas. Today we're playing Cupid, a visual novel. It is for free on Steam, and we're gonna start reading it, and if it's great, we might continue it in another video. So let's just do it. Alrighty. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. There's no need to explain. It's only natural. A mother loves her daughter more than anything else in the world. He hates you, doesn't he? The whole lot of them despises you, don't they? Chasing you into the forest and gouging a hole into your leg. All because you smiled at their husbands. And you know what? You deserve it. You freak. Hey! Ouch! You disgusting, horrible, filthy little girl. Whoa. Didn't I tell you to stay away from them? You never listen. Serves you right for being the dirty girl you are. What the hell is going on? But you don't have to worry, my darling. It's all right. Even if the whole world wishes you dead, I promise you this. Your mother will always be by your side.
My goodness, child! Whatever has happened to you?
A girl was slumped in the doorway, soaked by the rain. Her legs were covered in dirt and blood. She lifted her head upon hearing the priest's voice and stared at him with blank eyes. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. She hobbled forwards, her bloodied leg giving away. Automatically, the priest rushed forward to steady her. Years of spiritual training had prepared him for the most unexpected guests to his church. It's the priest training of unexpected guests boot camp. What? He sprung into action. He ushered her to a pew, brought out some clean cloth and antiseptic, and began to bandage the wound on her leg. Yet throughout all this, he found that he couldn't take his eyes off her. He would be gazing at the roll of bandages in his hand, deciding how to tie them. And then, out of nowhere, he would be staring into her eyes. Even with all the mud and grime smeared across her face, he couldn't deny that she was absolutely beautiful. How old was she? 20? 18? 16? Her face was so young. The priest had long since age past his desire for the opposite sex, but somehow, something about her enraptured him. When he realized his own thoughts, he quickly steered his mind towards other matters.
My child, what happened to you?
She seemed to take all the time in the world before responding. He looked at me.
Looked?
He looked at me and he touched me. And then he started to kiss me. At first, the priest didn't understand. Then he realized with a jolt of anger what she meant. It was happening more and more often nowadays. The young men of France these days were spirited, uncontrollable ruffians. A lady walking home by herself one night would be prey to a few number of them. Lust. One of the 7 deadly sins, the one that the priest personally despised the most. Furrowing his brow in sorrow, the priest laid a hand on her thigh.
You are safe now, child. God's house is a sanctuary for the faithful.
I don't think he'll protect me. He looked at her in confusion. You see, Father, I have sinned again. Right there among the pews, before the altar of God, she bowed her head. I'm sorry. Was she apologizing to him or to someone else? Her hair hid her face and her eyes, and the priest could make neither head nor tail of her. He suddenly realized that his hand was still on her thigh, and hurriedly drew it away. "I'm sorry." She repeated this phrase over and over. After a while, the priest got up.
"Don't fret, child. You are not to blame. I will contact the local constable, but in the meantime you are free to make yourself at home here. I will fetch you a hot drink."
Sorry. He patted her hand and left to go to the back room. She remained seated on the pew, her head bent forward. As the priest's footsteps faded away, the entire church fell into silence. Now that it was the dead of night, the clouds covered the sky. Barely a silver of moonlight filtered through the stained glass. The girl sat alone in a ring of darkness. She opened her mouth. "No, I know. If I might say my piece, surely." Yes, yes, mother. But he is so very kind." Child, follows mother's words and leave. You saw the look in his eyes, didn't you? You cannot stay here. Even a man of God can stain. Even a man of God can stain you with the filthiest colors. Be a good girl and follow mother's words. But it's cold outside, mother. The rain has not let up. Can't I stay?
"No."
You leave now, and that is a final. That man is a creep. I will not hear another argument. I'm sorry. Please don't be angry, mother. I understand. I shall leave at once. How am I going to mind you like this? You attract so much misfortune everywhere you go. My stupid little girl. Always a blight, aren't you? Whatever will you do without me? I'm sorry, mother. Thank you for always guiding me. It is all my fault. The girl sat in silence. Mother was right after all. She was always right. Everything was her fault. Her fist shook with a mixture of fear and conviction. She had to do penance. Mother, give me strength. There's something I wish to do. The girl rose from the pew. In front of her was the altar, and on top of the altar was an ornately decorated cross. It was as white as her head, and the tip of the cross had been crafted such that it was razor sharp. She left the pew, knelt briefly, and then walked over to the altar. Don't tell me. You're quite sure you're doing this? The girl's arm trembled ever so slightly. What other way is there for me to atone? She picked up the cross. Oh, my darling daughter. Mother is proud of you. What's happening? Slowly, she brought the sharp end close to her face. So close that it hovered just above her left eye. Uh-oh. And then she... Ow! Chapter 1, The Star and the Rose. Happy music! Woohoo! A scruffy young girl in tattered clothes peeked through the open gates of Chateau de Sommeil. An afternoon goûter was being held in its gardens. People from high class estates strolled around the manicured gardens while chatting loudly with one another. A little note here. Pardon my French. It's probably very bad. There were beautiful ladies clad in silk and velvet, their necks adorned with pearls and jewels. A variety of foods was displayed on the tables. The girl stared at the food. She hadn't eaten properly for the past few days. We must not linger in this place any longer. I detest it. Surely we can look around for a bit? It's still a little early. There was something else that called to her other than the party itself. She walked to and fro from the gates, peeking at the crowd despite the urgings of her mother to leave. What was that? Just a tiny glance would be enough. The girl smiled at the thought of him. The owner of the chateau, the Marquis de Gue. The girl was drawn to him. He wasn't the same as other people. He seemed different somehow. He was kind to her and would always hand her food when she delivered flowers. Her heart felt at ease with him. He is the same as everyone. Greedy, insatiable. Maybe not for you, but for something else. But he's a kind man, Mother. Don't let his kindness fool you. Sweetest tongue hides sharpest tooth, child. She bit her lip. Why do you even bother with him? He makes me feel that there are still good people in the world, Mother. It is hard to say, of course, dear. We do not know the real intentions people have. One can hope that real charity exists. But even good people will always put their needs first. Even your precious Marquis. Don't you think I'm a good person, Mother? Of course I do, child. You're special. Haven't I raised you as such? I have tried my best, my dearest. Yes, Mother, you keep me right. I love you. The girl stared at her shoes and looked around for a bit, hoping for just a glance before she left. And there he was. There was no harm in looking, she reasoned. She would never enter the Marquis's world. Let her heart be filled with hope. He turned his eyes in her direction. Did he smile at her? The girl's heart stopped. Did he recognize her? She beamed. My, is this creature deaf as well as dumb? It might be, poor thing. Mademoiselle, I already forgot a voice. A voice called to the rose girl. She gasped. It seemed that somebody else had noticed her presence. She turned to leave. No, my dear. Poor little creature. Don't run away. Charlotte, she stinks. Don't touch her. Whoa, my voice. Wow, I'm really bad in remembering a voice that I just did the other second. Came to crush the party, little urchin. You hungry? Her stomach gave a low grumble. She was always hungry, it seemed, no matter how much or how little she ate. Encouraged by the kindness the Marquise had shown her, the girl approached the women. She teetered towards the table. That was like a tongue twister. Teetered towards the table. Teetered towards the table. Blah, 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 blah. What are you selling? Look at this poor creature. Is she selling roses? These are all ugly ones. But not as appalling as the rags she is covering herself in.
Are you trying your best to be this repulsive? Now, don't be mean, Antoinette. Perhaps it's the commoner fashion nowadays. They laughed while gawking at her and her wares. Oh my, she only has one eye. Ghastly, but I can't look away. The other lady nodded her head. Like a sideshow attraction, you mean? She freaks at the carnivals. She's darling in her own dirty, monstrous way. Maybe we can keep it. Hello, do you want some bread, urchin? Well, speak up. Maybe her tongue is short. Add that to the list of her sterling qualities. Oh, that voice is wrecking my throat. Why am I doing this? Quiet, Antoinette. Come on, don't be shy. Do you want some food? Let us hear you speak. Yes, madam. What? Yes, madam. I would be grateful. One of the ladies clapped in mockery at her reply. Oh, she talks. The ladies handed her the bread, but it was snatched away just before her fingers grazed it. Not before you dance for us first. Oh, make her do a handstand. I've seen one of those street people do that. Quite marvelous. Now, I'd like to see that. This party's getting quite boring. Well, come on, my bet. Dance for your food. The girl looked at the beautiful, cruel faces of the women. That look on them. It was a burning desire to hurt something simply because they could. She knew that look. Before they touched her and hurt her, they had that look burning in their eyes. Look at what you did, Claudette. She's shivering like a leaf. Poor thing. The lady was laughing as she said those words. Oops. I didn't do anything. She should be grateful we're even offering her this much. Wow, my voice is... Why am I doing this to myself? Why don't I just give them regular voices? No, let them be squeaky. Besides, these commoners are supposed to be jolly in their misery. Come on, girl. Show us your joy. The girl moved away as they laughed. Mother, please save me. Mother? Boom. Haven't I taught you this time and again? People are cruel. Now, you see it's firsthand. Hey there. Oh. I thought it was the Maquis, damn it. A child's voice called out from behind her. Yeah, that voice was fitting. It belonged to a girl around 7, with chubby cheeks and a look of curiosity in her eyes. She wore an old blue dress, somewhat patched at the corners, but kept clean and tidy. She was not rich, but she had an air as if she owned the ground she stood on. Another commoner? This party is absolutely teeming with them. The Marquis loves these things. Heard he picks them randomly from the street. Maybe I should get me one too. Do you think it's fashionable abroad? In his birth country, I mean? Persia! Persia! Sorry. No, I heard he was from India. Oh. I heard a rumor he's a bastard son of a Greek queen.
Wit.
Goodness, that is so far-fetched. I could barely pronounce his name, though. He really should change it to something more acceptable. Who knows what kind of demons he might attract with such a blasphemous name? Aha! It must be why all these nasty, horrid little creatures flock around him. Oh! Oh! Devil or not, I'll forgive him if he kisses my hand.
The ladies laughed.
Aren't you shameless? Don't lie, we all know why we're here.
The ladies gossiped among themselves, openly ignoring the girl. The young girl took the slighting with a shrug. She approached the table and asserted her presence.
What you doing?
Goodness, they don't take a hint, don't they? Throw something shiny, it might distract them.
Hey, you've been holding that bread for a long time. Aren't you gonna give it to her?
She pointed at the shabby rose vendor. Why do you care? Do you want the bread for yourself? I bet she's hungry too.
I know. Maybe you should toss the bread and see if they fight for it.
Oh man, that voice is killing me. Oh, my throat. The ladies laughed to themselves. The girl stared at them with confusion, her brows furrowed in a childlike understanding.
Rah!
Next thing everyone knew, she had swiped the bread from the woman's hand. Oh my!
How rude! Horrible, filthy girl, give that back!
The girl sniffed the piece of bread and nibbled at the surface.
Yummy, it's still warm.
She shoved the bread in the urchin's face. The scrumptious scent of bread flooded the rose girl's nose.
Lick it, the sugared butter tastes good.
No, you devil child, give that back. The urchin licked it, her tongue was coated in sweetness. She stood there squeezing the taste in her tongue. The girl grinned at her and she couldn't help but grin back.
Sorry, here you go, it's all yours. Disgusting!
Like we're going to eat anything that's been in your filthy mouth.
Wow, so this is ours now? You ladies are so nice.
Cheeky little brat, I'll have you thrown out of this party. I'll have you...
Ooh, hello.
A young man strode to the commotion. A sweet scented lingered at him as he passed. The rose girl felt her mouth well up. His presence filled her body almost as if her hunger was abated. She blushed furiously. What a strange effect he had. Ladies? Oh, I said, why you have such a stupid name that I can't pronounce? Sir. Well, they said he has a name no one can pronounce. Well, thank you, Sir Asshole. I just came to check in on my esteemed guests. Is everything alright? Are you enjoying yourselves? One of the ladies started fanning herself with obvious annoyance.
Well, these little beasts have been harassing us.
Yes, my lord. We were just minding our own business when this girl swiped the food off our table.
Horrible little nits.
The girl stuck out her tongue at them. A lady wiped her eyes in mock tears. See, Look at that. It's absolutely monstrous how these children act around adults now. There's no respect, monsieur. I worry for the next generation. Oh, Charlotte, don't cry. Well, my lord, we would all breathe a little easier if those children were sent on their way. Yeah, who knows what kind of mischief they might be up to. They might set fire to the tables, you see. Oh. Or steal our jewelry. In fact, I think my pocket watch is missing. No, how unfortunate. One of the ladies continued her childish wailing. It is, Messiah. It's unfortunate how you allow your important guests to be treated this way. My voice just changed, didn't it? Please, deal with these vermins. Throw them out now. Oh, my sweet ladies, I am stricken with grief at your misfortunes. Allow me to offer my heartfelt apologies. Unfortunately, this child is my important guest today, and you are, sad to say, paltry squatters. Oh, burn! Excuse me? Madame Charlotte of Montpellier, I don't remember sending you an invite. Same for you, Lady Antoinette of Rennes and Lady Claudette of Lyon. Most people I invited are huge patrons of music. That is why they are here today. They came to listen to Mademoiselle Catherine Louis Perrit. What's with all the names, dude? She is the 7-year-old piano prodigy who played for the Queen last summer. Oh, it's her! Smiley. The man pointed at the girl busy chewing her half of the bread. The Rose Girl just stared at the unfolding situation. Well, that's... I'm sure you were aware of that, were you not? No matter, I am always happy to see you, ladies. It is my pleasure to have you here. But I hope you don't mind giving some of the food away to my townspeople. That is why I keep my gates open. My servers are instructed to serve anyone who passes by, not just my guests. But don't you fret, my darlings. There's plenty more to be served. The ladies blushed in embarrassment. One of them began to fan herself even faster. Excuse me. The Marquis walked up to the two girls. The Rose Girl's heart beat so fast it made her head feel light and dizzy. She had never been this close to him. It made her feel a mixture of fear and elation. Lady Catherine, your father has been looking for you. It is almost time for your performance. The girl looked up at the Marquis and did a little curtsy. My apologies, sir. I didn't mean to cause a clatter. Alright. Before I cannot stop reading this, I have to end it here because the episode is getting too long. If you wanna read more or listen more to my stupid voices, but most of all, that story, I like it so far, then just tell me to continue and I shall. Just not in the Christmas episodes, but in a separate series. Until then, have a great day. See you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye.